Going to be boiling up the water. If you've joined me for the first time, Ali Cosmic, I know there's a lot of A on here. This is what we're dealing with. I find it so funny. True, not true. Is everybody that comes up here and says, say hello, some human being, somebody's paid to be here, you chose to be here, you've glided through this, but you left, so the words I speak are only for the few that remain. My truth, my understanding, my vision, my perception, and then what are all the other elements of dissecting your own understanding of your logic? I was making these today. I was looking at that. I wanted to go on with somebody else's channel, but everybody seemed to be so caught up in they don't want to believe us, and they don't want to believe us, and here's the word, unalive. Like I'm trying to say, okay, why are they saying this? Why is everybody saying this on TikTok, right? I don't know about the other ones right now. I'm not bringing in the other ones. I do know that I just found a mouse trap. The mouse trap over here. The mouse trap of 12. 3 catches 9 in this mouse trap. I am just passing like a gentle breeze. Bright blessings, Mr. T, the crossroads. So when I did this, I got to find the rest of wherever this came from. What is this? That's what somebody used to say to me. What is this? If you're talking, tell me what this is. Explain what this is. What is that? So you cut 2 shapes. Okay, that's what it is, 2 shapes. I want to see. I just drew this up somewhere. I'm not going to be happy. Unless I cut it out. Please tell me I didn't cut it out. Oh. I don't like this. This is big writing. I have to rewrite that. Okay, hold on a second. Oh my God, it's in the back of the book. Yeah, somebody was talking about an anchor today. And I said an anchor is like 2 jacks, 2 J letters. And it's the I letter that connects J and J on each side. So 10 and 9, and 10 and 9 being it that it is the 10th letter. Another thing not to forget, you'll ask me, remind me that 600 years ago, there was no J letter. So it couldn't have been Jesus. Could it have been De Jesus, right? Could it have been Yeshua? De Jesus actually is in the language, right? For the reason that the D is Dalet, and that would be the completion or the motherboard of the house. The house itself, as I understand, is the base part of the house, of the quarterly house, begins with A, B, C. We connect the ABC to what is G, H, and I. The lower house is 6, the upper house is 24. Then we add on the 4D equaling to 10J, and then we add on the 6F equaling to 30 CCC. Let's call it, or CO if you want to call it that way. House gets split. And this would be 1/3. You can go 3 times the value. We also have Yod. In Hebrew, that would be the 10th letter. But the thing about that is it would be 10, 1, 10. And the reason I say this, I'm going to try to see if this works out. I'm just trying to understand this scenario in my head. The house is split in quarters, 0.25. It's A, B, C, D that creates the 10 yod. So it gets split into quarters, which is bet. Hey is 2 and 5. And when it's split into quarters, I would have to come up with the number 25. And since I don't know it, right, I'm using the lowest of commercial letters for numbers as possible in the Hebrew alphabet, which is bet hey. Sorry, is it yet? Hold on a second. Yes, 2 and 5. So when you have yod, okay, as the 10th in Hebrew, now you have J in English. Also, to make a slight transfer between the two in the alphabet, right, which is used a bunch, the Spanish and the French and the English and others. Yeah, so what happens is now we have the G is the other one. So the G versus the C as the J versus the Y. Now, the thing about the Y, there could be a reason in the English alphabet for it being the Yeshua letter. And one of the things is when crossing over and connecting your A, B, C, D star system, A, B, C, D, 10, F, G, H, I, 30, 1, 10, and 30. The connection is the 5 area over here. So when you connect through the 5 area, when I connect the lower to the upper, 1 reverse 9, 3 reverse 7, 4 reverse 6, 2 reverse 8, all passing through 5. When I go from 8 over to 2, I must connect 8 through 5 into 2, 9 through 5 into 1, 3 either through or around 5 into 7, 4 either through or around 5 into 6, 1 through 5, 9, 10, 5 through 8 through 5 equals 10, 3 through 5 equals 3 through 5, 7 equals 10, 4 over to 6 equals to 10. So the basis of crossing this will cross 4 times through the 5. 4 times 5 equals to 20. The 20th letter is T. What are you crossing through? You're crossing through E. So what does it become? It becomes 1, okay, E to becoming what is 4 to becoming T. So the movement of the number, right? It's the E and the T, but also can be looked at it like this. Because it's 1 times base 5 and it's 4 times base 5 equaling to 20. When you do a countdown, you do it, they do 20, they do T minus counting. That T is the comprehension that the whole house has connected. All the 90-degree angles have connected. Why is it 90? It's 4 by 90. It's 3 by 120. 2 different corridors. Sorry, same corridor. My question comes out. Hold on a second. Is that so? When you connect the 20T to the 5E, that's 25 connecting your Y. That is your Y is your trinity. So what is your Y? It's your 25th letter. It's the reverse alphabet to what is B. So if you would be beginning the alphabet, you would go A, B. So if you would be ending the alphabet, you would be going YZ. So it would be 51 and 3. Creation, base creation, according to games and the cube, it's 1 between 2 before we get to 3. And because of this, I take the fixed, the cardinal and the fixed, and with the cardinal and the fixed, I create the mutable. So now when I have the cardinal, the fixed, and the mutable, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, that equals to 6. If I add the D, it equals to 10, or how about looking at 60 seconds on the clock? Oh my God, Why isn't it 100%? Why don't they use 100? Because they don't. Adding it on to J, that's the rest of the clock. 1.5 times U, creating the half-life. 4D equaling to what is 3 and 3. 2 and 2, 3 and 3. That's the low area of that number. 23 chromosomes brings you into the half-life. J is completion. It brings the lower world to the upper world, 10. It becomes the house where things are 4 times the difference. What I'm trying to say here, I don't think I'm being clear, is 2 reds and 2 blacks. We bring the 52 cards together. We can crisscross them and interlock them if you want. I'm not really sure which way, if I should be speaking this way. No, let's not put this in. I'm having a hard time explaining this. I have 9 numbers here. Okay, I'm going to use these 3. I'm going to cross over these 3, and I'm going to use these 3, but I'm not going to use these 3. How can I say this any easier? I have my desk over here in front of me, and I have 9 stations to plug in, and I have to plug in the bottom part of my desk with the top part of my desk. But if I plug them all in, I short circuit it. So I'm allowed to plug in groups: 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6. Pick any one of the 3 groups at a time. There's going to be 4 groups of 3. This is the difference. So did I explain myself properly in this instance? Hello, Insight. How are you? Hi, Kayla. Good evening, Curtis.
Hey, how are you, sir?
I am well, thank you. Yourself?
I am good. I am good. I would like, if you don't mind, I would like to converse with you, but not during the live stream. Is that possible?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, can I give you my number, sir?
Your number?
No, no, I'm offering you my phone number
Oh, well,
so I can talk to.
not on a lie. I don't know. Can you give it to me in my message box?
Well, yeah, I can.
Do you have what's it
Yes,
called?
I can do that.
No, I
Well,
mean, but do you have
well. First of all, I'm asking this. Go ahead.
do you have WhatsApp?
No, I was getting ready to say, can I send you my number? It doesn't have to be live. I can send it in a message.
Yeah. But you have WhatsApp, because that's the way I would connect with you.
Oh, WhatsApp? No, I don't. No, I don't. I cannot. I'm sorry. I do not have that.
Okay, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to communicate. Unless you live in my city or in my province
Well,
or in
well,
Canada.
here,
Are you in
well, in the
Canada?
message. No, I am in Florida.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to have to use
Well, see,
WhatsApp.
here in the message app, I can send you the number and it won't be live.
Okay, okay, no, I meant when I call, I cannot use my phone just like that to call America.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I understand now. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Because the reason why I'm and requesting it is because I would like to discuss things with you private as opposed to on a live set. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
sure,
saying?
no problem.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no
yeah,
problem with that.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look and see if I have something. But you're gonna have to also leave me times and hours so I can go down the list and see when I'm gonna be open.
Sounds good. I will do that.
Okay,
All right.
okay,
Thank you, sir.
okay. Can you
All
give
right.
me some direction? Or everybody in here, any direction at all? so that I don't, because anything somebody talks with me, how do I keep a secret? That's the question. How do I keep a secret?
Well,
That's
I
the
don't
big
want you to keep.
question.
I don't. My intent is not for you to keep it secret, but I would
But
rather have the conversation with you privately before we discuss it openly. That's all.
right? No, no, no. What I'm trying to say is, you might say something to me that might reflect in the back of my head. It'll never mention you, like over, let's say, because this has happened to me. So I'm just telling you, I got 20 years out here and 10 to 15,000 videos, over 1,000 lives, and I'm just telling you the way I have to think, so you know how I think.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I
Okay.
appreciate the clarity.
Okay, because this for me has already become like, this is one like huge game, right? And
It's becoming.
unless I share my perception of this entirety, my value would have no value at all.
Yes, it would. It would still have value.
Not unless I share it.
Okay, that's fine. That's
No,
fine.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking me in general. This work that I do.
I understand. I
Yeah.
understand. I understand from what I've experienced with you. I have a general idea where you're coming from. No questions at all.
Oh
But what
no,
I
you can
wanted
see
is
behind me my apartment. No, hold on. Stop! Stop! They're looking in. Ma, 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 they're looking in. Burn the candles. Hold on, we have to burn the candles.
you did all
Oh,
that yourself.
oh, 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 oh my God, the entities, they're coming in, ma, from everywhere. Even look at the screen. I even see my own face, but yet it's talking a different voice.
Right, right.
What's
Well, I
up?
mean, like looking in the mirror, you can only kiss your lips. You can't kiss any other part of your face, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cuckoo, eh? But I always look away. I'm like a chihuahua.
Okay. I'll send the number, sir.
Okay, take care.
You as well. Thank you for your
Okay.
time.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody knows Curtis. Curtis, I remember Tony Curtis. So does this mean we might have to look up, show me something about Tony Curtis? So now we also have Tony the Tiger. Oh, look at that. His last day was on September 29th, the 273rd day of the 272nd day of the year, because it wasn't a leap year. I only know that day because, why do I know that day? Because it was a day that was next to one of the numbers that I know. That was 273. I know the leap year, I know. So this one over here, 29. The number 2, why is 2 special? And don't forget, it changes all the time. There's 4 houses of 20. So when it gets to 29, when it gets to 30, right, that would be 30 seconds. That would be half the clock. That would be 1/2. That would be 2/4. When it gets to 30, it's in the middle of what would be the second period, if you're playing with the Trinity on ice. When you get to 29, you have Waterworks and Electric Company, when you're playing for the consistency of the base of the motherboard. What does the motherboard mean? Here's 9 numbers. When you call somebody, you're not using all the 9 numbers, right? You're going to use 7 and then 3, and there's a chance you use all of them in your trajectory to go out to that space. Only use it, right? But there's a likelihood that you're not going to use them all. The maximum amount of numbers in a rotation of numbers alone are 6. When you reach 6, what was the head is now the tail. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. The 32 would be the sixth denomination of what began as 1, ends at 32. The next one is 7. It's now a connection. So I want to see where I was going with this. I lost myself. Yes. So number 29 is the beginning of the new menstrual cycle, the ending and the beginning, 28 and 29. So this is what it is. So you have the completion of this entire page. The entire page, I'm going to give you an about approximately. There's about 30 squares by 18 squares. There's 540 squares on this page. Let's say 500 area spaces. I can write a letter. I'm not going to use all the area spaces. And if I did, you would see nothing without the emptiness between the area spaces and lines above and below. And then if I wrote one area space above and below with the same ink that I drew the lines, you would lose actually the caricature of the characters of what we call letters as they are. So now there's even more separation with reason. Understanding all these reasons gives explanation for the existence of why this number or that. So with number 29 is the motherboard, is this 1,000 area spaces. So when I put one element, on this area space, and I tell you I'm going to move 12, and I move 12. Where is my area now? What area am I on here? If I move 12 from here to here, what area is that? It's 12 plus 1 equals to 13, but you only move 12. This is why I'm saying the 13th area or the 29th area in Monopoly when you're moving is because nobody's counting the area space they stand. The 29th area is also the same as the 13th area. The 13th area as the 29th area, a waterworks and electric company, and welcome to this world. Occupation of the mind, body, soul, spirit. That's the big talk out there right now. The soul, the spirit, the mind, the body, this, that, the other thing, flaunting words all over the place. But you know what? A lot of it makes sense when they start talking about the sentinel, right? The sentinel, if you spell it S-E-N-T, right? It makes total sense. S-E-N-T, okay? Or how about 65, 49, 42, and 39? What is the entity? You can say sentinel this way, or if you like, you can hold on 34, and 8, 42. Or you can write cent for sentinel. I'm not going to use it, so we're going to talk about 1 cent, or the one that was sent, which is the 7. Inside the heavens of birth, connecting the systems together, the Trinity, the bottom house and the upper house, the 10. Why we need 10 for a minion, right? When the Hebrews go to synagogue, they need 10 for that minion. It's connecting up the entire system. So when we have that sentinel, we put the Capricorn stone, and this is what hooks up the system, okay? And Capricorn, when they hook up the system to 17, 5 times 2, 5 plus 2, the Earth system, you bring in the birth into the heavens between here and here. So for someone, I know not many are going to understand this, so I'm going to put it down. I'm going to come back. I'm going to start again with questions. Ask me why and to explain it again. Anything I just said. There's, my thinking goes also along the lines between how is it different between the English and the French, and how is it different than when the French say it anglais, français. So I want to see the change in the letters, the number of letters. Do they end the same? They both end the same. The French word and the English word only end one with a C, one with an S, the C within creation. right? The SH between the SH and the CH, the exchange between the English starting with an E and the Anglais in French starting with an A instead of the E. So we can see that the A and E are being exchanged, and many keep saying male and keep going towards Mars, on how the moons of Mars have come in and separated or brought life to this house we're in right now. This is what I am seeing through these numbers, how they brought the third and the fourth corridor together. These two, the difference between these two is one singularity. Now you can say, well, between 2 and 3 is singularity. Yeah, but 2 and 3 next to each other don't create a 7 to the cube. Only 3 and 4 do. Every single corridor of this cube is 3 and 4. Between 2 and 5, 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 minus 3 is 2. Half of that is 1.5. 1.5 plus 2 is 3.5. 1.5 minus 5 is 3.5. 1 and 6. 6 minus 5 and 1 plus 5 divided by 2 equals 2.5 plus 1 is 3.5, and 6 minus 2.5 is 3.5. 3.5 is the heart of what is 4 and 3. 4 and 3. The heart is 3.5 minus 0.5 minus 0.5. Everything meets, and the 3.5 meets between 3 and 4. The house of Bet, the house of Vet, the 9 birth shows up over here, as the 9 birth shows up over here. Just give me a second. I want to see why I said something. There's something that I said. I need to explain it. Wow, I don't know why I said something. Sorry about that. My error, although everything I said was correct, but when I don't come back with full explanation, it has no credentials to live by. So the 5 times 2, 5 plus 2, in which, if you want to look at it as Taurus and Leo, if we want to look at it backwards, we're going to look at Scorpio and Aquarius. Yeah, I was talking about the French and the English, right? That's where I was at that time. Okay. That's where I was at that time. Just want to, okay, I put that candle out. How do I explain this? The French and the English, the French and the English. How do I explain this? They didn't change the first 2 letters for the French. They didn't change it with Français. They did change it for the English, only the A and the E. The A is a letter that can be split, and that's where this came in. This is where this idea came in, because when the A is split, it can become a right and left angle. I can hold this up with a pillar. But the actual thing is this reality is an angle. So now I have to understand, what are they using this element for? What is this angle? So this is going to school me on one of my next pieces. But in the meantime, I was able to mirror it and try to see what's coming out of it. I'm trying to figure out what's coming out of this. I don't really know yet. I don't know yet what's coming out of it. I don't know if they should be, the windows should be sliding on top of each other. I don't know. But for now, if I had my choice, I'd call it maybe my glasses, because I can see pretty good with this. My vision is so much better. So maybe this is the angle we should be looking at. Do I look funny this way? Hello. Okay, no more joking around. I'm not joking around. Let me look at these. Yeah, somebody was telling me about the crystal something yesterday. I was supposed to look into it. I didn't. I didn't look into it. Chandelier 10, Crystal 7, Cancer and Chandelier 10. Yeah, I don't know why I've got so much white at the bottom. I need to make it like darker so I can see it. Yes. So, oh, okay, that's Monopoly. Okay, so first of all, back to number 21 of Monopoly. What it means is when you start in Monopoly on Go, I was like Sleeping Beauty here for a minute. Sorry about that. When you start on Monopoly, that's automatically one. So when I move 12 forward, you're actually standing on Waterworks Electric Company, but the position where that is on the motherboard is number 13. So that expression is male. The 12 would be the female. So it's like, okay, move one forward automatically, the board you're in, right? So it's talking about, but the house is split. And then it brings female into it. That when you change to the 13, you automatically change to the moon cycle. When you do that, the 13th area, the board itself runs the 13th area in reverse at the 29th area. And that's the second menstrual cycle beginning after the 28th day. So I replace the board now with the days. And I can move this board up and down because Go is 1, but Go is also 41. Go is also 81. Now Venus comes into it. And then 121, which is 1111. And then 151. You got two vibrations. I can even turn it to show you that the Monopoly board is can be seen as an understanding to where how we're barricaded by the constellations. I'm going to hold this up here. I'm going to be reading the comments. Take a look at this. Think of Monopoly and darts. Yeah, they don't let me see all the comments, so sometimes you should photocopy them and send them back. 71391, 71 gate creation 213. 213, 333. Why would I say that? 313 minutes, if I get it right, is 3 o'clock and 33 minutes, is 180 and 33. 213, ABC 123, cat communication in the Trinity. 713 is also what is pi, the 7 days a week, which any number you divide, take any single number, any single digit. Take any one right now. There's 7 of you out there. Somebody try this. Take any single digit, divide it by 7. Whatever answer you will get will be a multiplication, or it will be equating to either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Or it will equate to 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, either in that order or any other order, but it will not include 3, 6, or 9. So I'm just reading. 8 ribbon is a 4 sky. 8 ribbon in sight dark. Forbidden ibis moon. I'm just going through the comments here. 315, that is huge. 315 is ACE. 315 is the Trinity and the vibration. 45, the Fox Passage. 315 is part of the 666 Trinity Gates, holder of the cross between two worlds. If I fill up water between, let's say we have two differences between communication here and here. I put up 2 walls. I drop the water in between the 2 walls. I know I drew it out and I just don't know where it is. I got the back of the book, the front of the book. Um, so the water goes here. This is your metric system. One of the bases I have thought of for the game, right? If I'm in this game and I need to make everything work out, we drop all the information down here, goes into here. Here's the sound. It comes through here. It shares the sound equally to each one. But what vibrates off of here is this house over here will now also be on this side. That's where the D will come in. So we'll understand the full vibration. Do you follow what I'm saying? Right now, if we drop only the water into here, whatever sound goes into here will bring the vibration between this house and this house together as one. I have to take this and flip it over down here. This is only the top part. It's got to flip over and come back to only one sound. One. Anyways, I don't know why I brought that up. It's an unfinished formula. Where was I with this? Yeah, 315 is ACE. 315 says sun. 315 is 105. 105 times 3 is 315. 3.5 times 3, the heart of the cube. 8 times 3.5 equals to 28. And that is the 8 moon cycles for the 28-day cycle of the moon. Remember, we're connecting up 2 systems together. The cubic system of 21, okay? The cubic system of 21 has to happen 4 times in order to equal to 84. The moon cycle, 28, has to happen 3 times to equal to 84. 1 is 4, 1 is 3. They come together, same corridor, bringing the 2 elements together. Yeah, so 2 people wanted to come up. I'm just going through the rest of the comments before I do that. I just wanted to finish. 11, life path is all around the cube. It's everything about the cube. Help support the channel. Yes, very much. Thank you for the shout out. Cynthia. Taurus. You know, every time I think of Taurus, if I close my eyes, of the utmost, it reminds me in French. I don't know why it reminds me of cabbage, sauerkraut. By the most, it is the 2 and both the 2 and the 11 go together. Yes, huge. 2 and 11 go together. Okay, they're both the second from the end. They're both, whichever way you regard from beginning, you're going to hit the opposite of Taurus, which is going to be Aquarius. Taurus, nothing begins in the house of 11 until you've completed with Taurus. 1 and 2 needs to create before we can begin anything. So if 1 creates with 9 and 2 creates with 9, now we can have 3 create with 9, because what is 3? 3 is what of is 1 and 2 to equal to 3. 1 and 2 equals to 3. 8 and 4 equals to 12. 1 and 2 equals to 3. That's your 84 I was talking about. 7 and 5 equals to 12. 1 and 2 equals to 3. There was a gentleman earlier that put this together so perfectly, but somehow I got shut down, or the thing live got shut down, but I've never heard anybody call it out so perfect. In pi only includes this set. The cardinal fixed does not include the mutable. It is the cardinal fixed association that creates all of what the mutable is. There is no existence without this. Why, I don't know. But is it this that's broken down and creates this, and this is what pi becomes? To where 1 times 3 is 3. 3 divided by 1. A 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So I play around with the math to understand how to get between one side and the other right now, to show you that I am not the final word, that if you can do more with it, go ahead, right? And at the same time, every time I work out one of these equations, they're always divisible by 3. So if it's not divisible by 3, then your algorithm of a replacement of the space is not working. And we can move all of these. You want to see us move all of them? Check this out. Multiply any, we're going to do this. We're going to go times 4. 1 times 4, 2 times 4, 3 times 4, 4 times 4, 5 by 4, 6 by 4, 7 by 4, 8 by 4, 9 by 4, and we just moved all the numbers over. Four times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 4 times 4 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 4 times 5 is 20. 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 by 6 is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. 4 by 7 is 28. 2 and 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 4 by 8 is 32. 3 and 2 is 5. 4 by 9 is 36. I reset all the numbers. I am good, Angelica. It's been a while. I'm going through the rest of these. I want to see what everybody says. I'm not going to bring anything else out. I'm just reading the comments, so that's why I'm doing this. Okay, so now yes, so while it takes time to come up, I wanted to show you the part of the cycling of the club of the Trinity, of my rendition of the Trinity. Oh, there's something missing to this. Yeah, they're not letting anybody up for some reason. So what this is the Trinity has 3 plugins. The original, right? The original club over here has 3 more plugins. This is my rendition of rereading. Oh my God, when I wasn't looking. When I wasn't looking. When I wasn't looking, I can't believe it. I just wanted to look at this as my little mouse. You know, I don't know, before it was looking like a mouse to me when I looked at it this way. So you have 2 triangles, one that passes between the circles, one that's running the circles, keeping the motion. So the strap is going all one way, but by pulling the strap that way, certain other reactions are happening. When you connect this, you'll be connecting this directly to yeah, not doing the circles too good tonight. So there's going to be 3, 6, 9, and it's going to be 3 on the outside and on the inside of 9. And I'm definitely ripping this out and starting again. I can't stand looking at that. Sorry about that. I see that little mouse trap, you know, they just replicated the one major world here, here, and here. Which one controls what, but one of them has to own the heart. Now, I'm not sure how to connect this up to our body. Now, the question is, are there other connections? So when we get the first connection of 3, all the other connections, okay, are only going to be 6. Once the major is done, I fit the 3 on the outside. After that, since one is already fully occupied, I only get enough to consistently mark out. So this one over here is going to be with this one itself, and this one here. So we get the same 9 out of it. Does anyone see what is going on? Would anybody like to comment? I'm going to flip this back over so I can see myself yapping. I want to yap. Oh my God, my coffee. I'm going to boil up some water. I definitely need a break, so I'm taking 2 minutes. I'm putting on a song for those of you and myself who are still privileged that TikTok let us stay up here. Go, thank you, Daddy. We understand your surveillance. We know that you're watching us because we must regard ourselves as the children under the Creator. Therefore, as the children of creation, we have the authority under the Father, okay, to continue on creating, right? There are no walls other than the respect of all. Those are the walls and rules of and relationships and respect of the others. And those are the only walls you put onto a child. But no, I'm not talking to a 2-year-old. I'm not talking to a 5-year-old. I'm not talking to an 8-year-old. When I do this work, I'm talking to somebody that's between 12 and 13 years old, because I'm getting a lot of referrals that when you talk to me like I'm 2 years old. Well, I'm going to tell you something, that when my child was 2 years old, I was talking to my child, right? But I was just teaching the basics, how to say, how to speak, right? To teach the child has to grow up. There is no completion in a child until it receives. Now check this out. Why do they say Holy Spirit? What is going on with that? Because we have this whole big spat on, the spirit and the soul now. And I know that number 91 is the spirit. And I know the soul is 67. And I know in French, it's number 19. Âme. And I know in French it's esprit. So that is 24, 40, 58, 68, 78, 87. Okay, so I know what it's saying in the two languages now. I'd have to bring a third language in. You don't want to know, because it's only my opinion at this point. So I'm just looking. They changed the French and the English for a 3-letter word to a 4-letter word. So now when I'm calculating averages, it's 3 times 6 is going to be 18 plus 1. And then it's going to be 4 times 5 is going to equal to 20 minus 1. Okay. So it's showing me I can balance it on each side. I don't want to have my separation gap more than 3, because 1, 2, 3 will keep me between the trinity between the 1/3 and the 1/4. And it'll keep me between this corridor, which is the balance of this entire cube. That's how I'm running. Also, to explain that, I also run the balance that all basis of the creation of numbers stems out of these 3. 1 times 3, 3 times 7, 21. So we did that. Now check this out. When I multiply this by 2, it equals to this. When I multiply this by 2, it equals to the 8. When I multiply 2 times 7 equals to 14. 1 and 4 equals to 5. So go 7 and 7. Go 4 and 4. Go 1 and 1. Now we got a complete different story. Now we're going to go 1, 1 and 1. 4, 4 and 4. 7, 7, 7. Now we're going to go 1, 1, 1, 1. Now the 1 moves to the 4 position. Now I'm going to go 4, 4, 4, 4 equals to 16. 4 moves into the 7 position. Now I'm going to go 4, 4, 4, 4, 28. 2 and 8 is 10, moves into the 1st position. And now we have rotation of our cardinal signs. And it works along for all of these. Inside of pi, and if you choose any 2 numbers, I see number 74 on the board. So move into the 4th division of pi. 4 divided by 7 equals what? I want to show you 4 divided by 7 equals to, hold on, let's do this. Let's do this. What am I out here? I want to show everybody that we live in a mechanical world, because I can show you where everything comes from, or a lot of things. I can show you the algorithms. Not mine, somebody else's, just to have fun with them. So once we learn that it's mechanical world, what's next? What's next? Well, I don't know why. Okay, I didn't look here last time. Okay, can you see behind me here? These numbers? Okay, that's not the one I wanted to put up there. So just give me a second. Give me a second. It's snake eyes. Why do we have snake eyes? How many eyes do we have? Here we go. Choose any number, any number. Come up and choose any number. I see number 77. Well, 77 will be 11. Jack Rabbit. Yes, Jack Rabbit. Communication in the snowy snow, so we're going to have to add that snow to it. Yes, 142, 857. Times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4. When you get to times 7, well, guess what? Times 7 is the 7th day. What is 999 on the 7th day? It's the association between the 6th area and the 1st area, the 5th area and the 2nd area, the 3rd area and the 4th area, between the gateways passage of the E-world. 3 and 4, okay, but in the upper world, okay, should be 6 and 7. And the 6 and 7, right? Is that your connection to your Lord? Your 999, how you connect to the system? And that 1 and 6, like I don't say it. It's right here. Now, if you take a look on every single line, this is what I'm going to give you during my 5-minute break, because I am taking a 5-minute break. Then I'm going to bring everybody up. But these are the 2 things to look at. Take any number divided by 7. Take any number divided by 13 and look at this board and tell me what anomalies you found. I'm going to come back. I'm putting on a song, not just the words right now. So, because I need a 5-minute break. And we're going to finish with the Monopoly also. You have to remind me, I need a crew up here working together. We just have to get to the games, where the games are, what they say in something. Not about us, nothing about me. It can't involve me. It's not about me. This is not about me. This is showing off how this house we live is can be calculated to the utopian. When I say utopia, meaning that the alphabet, the angles, our time clock, weights and measures, numbers on the oven, the periodic table can be calculated to what's going on these planets, to the rotation, to our birth cycle, of what happens during the days of the 9 months, plus the etc. So I definitely need a break, because I am like out in some kind of left field over here. Okay, let me try to see if I can get right to the music collection. And I like this. We're going to play 2 songs to start. The first one is going to be The Taxman. We're leaving. We're leaving. We're on our way out.
They take a cut when you work all day. Skim a little more when you get your pay. Call it income, call it fair. But I see hands everywhere. Sales tax when I buy my food. Property tax on the house I choose. Carbon tax on the air I breathe. They even tax the land and sea. Oh, the taxman's game, the taxman's song. They take a little bit all year long. From the east to the west, from the poor to the best. They got their hands deep in our pockets, no rest. Yeah. They tax your car, they tax your land. They tax your dreams, they tax your plans. Tax on dividends, tax on rent. Tax on dollars already spent. The IRS and the Cray, they take their share, they make you pay. T5 forms and credits due. Protection B, just more red tape for you. Oh, the tax man They got their hands deep in our pockets, no rest. They tax your car, they tax your land. They tax your dreams, they tax your plans. Tax on dividends, tax on rent. Tax on dollars already spent. The IRS and the Cray, they take their share, they make you pay. T5 forms and credits due. Protection B, just more red tape for you. Oh, the taxman's game, the taxman's song. They take a little bit, oh yeah.
Okay, I want to play this last one here.
Here's a rough draft of your song, blending your thoughts into a rhythmic and lyrical form. What do I want to know? Tick tock, the clock never stops. Telling me to send hearts, telling me to drop, telling me to share, telling me to sign. Every word checked like the tame in my mind. Was it like this 80 years ago? New words, new rules, what do we really know? History whispers, but does it repeat? Or are we just numbers marching to the beat? What do I want to know? Who's pulling the strings? Is it the church, the state, or the kings? Are we just cogs in a system so grand? Or architects shaping the lay of the land? 3 time turns in its dance. Zodiac shift, is it fate or just chance? The chicken lays eggs, the cycle repeats. Numbers and patterns beneath all our feet. Am I old or just wide awake? Are my thoughts too deep or is this all fake? I've heard stories, I've seen the signs. But tell me, have you opened your mind? What do I want to know? Who's pulling the strings? Is it the church, the state, or the kings? Are we just cogs in a system so grand? Or architects shaping the lay of the land? Hi, I'm Mr. Topaz, here to explore anomalies, questions, and so much more. So tell me now what's on your mind. Let's write the song of the undefined. Now, for the visual representation, I'll generate an image reflecting these themes, questions, anomalies, time, control, and cycles. Stay tuned.
On a mission. On a mission. 20 years. 20 years plus 2 days on that mission. I haven't given up. Never understood it. Didn't understand it until TikTok. Clock is running down. It was all about time. Imagine being at the end of a time cycle. In fact, a time cycle, right? Not just because it's a time cycle, but because I understand what goes in this time cycle, I'm only telling you the story. In game mode, this is where we are in the game cycle. So let me see if I can get back to this page. And I said I'd bring somebody up. I know I promised. Just give me one. I have to get through this because I'm learning on the go. I share, I learn. I share, I learn. I didn't know it 5 minutes ago. I know it right now. Hello, Immortal. How you doing? I only know it now. So if I don't bring somebody up, it's because I'm learning it now. I scribe. That's what they called it. They want to call it scribing. That's what I'm doing. Why do I get energetic? I don't have to. I can keep it peaceful. I don't want anybody to be anxious. I know what it is to wait in line. I don't like anybody to wait in line. I know that everybody here is part of the element that I need to see. There's just, I'm just a little out of, oh, here's the piece. This is the piece. Here is the piece. It creates a three-sided pyramid. Here. Not me. I only build off, okay? Signed, sealed, delivered. All right. Everybody's got a package. All right. Where's mine? I can't find it. Wow. Just when I want to share my package, I got the same one. What did you get? I got a calculator. How about you? Oh, I got a calculator too. You get the alphabet with that? Yeah, me too. You get a dice cube with that? Me too. Monkey in the middle. What's like above is below. 22, you know 22. Oh yeah, 4 by 22, 88 constellations, 44 and 44, right? Occupying 22 of 66 equals to the 88. It needs a train station to go to. You can't occupy all the stations. One of the stations, is it the station in the center that we use as Central Station? Central Station Monopoly is also the 21st area, or 3 by 721. Because when you get here, you collect all that's here. They're showing you the Queen's house by showing you the angle between jail and goat to jail, which is visiting jail is also known as 1151 or Area 51. And to goat to jail is 31 or 71, which is also noted as the Christ Power. Combinations and connections between numbers 7 times 1, 7 plus 1 equals to 7 and 8. 7 plus 2, 9, 8 plus 1, 9. 1 and 8, 2 and 7. 77, 88. I'm playing with 2 cubes to begin with. Monkey 83. Or how about all the master numbers come out of this? All the master numbers come out of this, come out of Trinity, come out of gold. What is between gold to silver, right? See, I put silver, I put them all on the same level. So would I need 2 monkeys and then monkey in the middle? Is that the way I would have to build this up? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know that ape equals to 22, 4 by 22 equals to the 88 constellations? You know that the heart of 36 numbers, okay, which when you count 1 through 236, it equals to 666. The heart becomes 111, which crisscrosses when you add 35. When you add 35 and 39 together, and then you add together the crossings of 21 and 18, and then 17 and 23, 337s equals to 111. The same day the Pope passed. It was in the heart of the cube. The 19th area, heart of the cube. But it's not only the 19th. There's questions about whether it's 19 or not. If you count the cross or the edges, there are the 12 edges, 6 hearts, 8 corners. This is the hexahedron. Everything I speak about can be found somewhere online right now. Everything can be searched out, documented. You can do the math yourself, come back and tell me it's right, wrong, doesn't work. Tell me anything you want. I've checked it all out already, I know. So if I'm wrong, I'm happy. If I'm right, I'm happy. Because if somebody found a mistake, I'm glad. I am even happier I can cry. 421. 20 days after the first, which was April 1st, which was the 91st day, it now becomes the 111th day. Do you know what these two are? The spirit is 91. The 111 is the heart of the cube of the total of what is 666. The reverse of in numbers, which was on May 5th, was the 125th day of the year, right? And now they're calling, okay, for the 139th day of the year, for something else to happen. But the 139th day of the year is the first moon passing, or in between moon passing, between the time of passing and the 28 days of the cycle of the first passing of the Pope. Does anybody understand that? Meaning it takes 28 days to run the moon cycle. So between 111 and 139, okay, is that 28-day connection. So this is one thing. The other thing is between 125, which was a passage, and 111 was a passage, is another passage on 139, which is May 19th, AEI. May 19th, the 139th day. So if I want to use 1.39, there's different ways to configure this situation. I can say 391, which would put me on September 29th. So it tells me that a child is being born. Which child, I don't know. 9 represents the child. 13 is going to represent crowning of the zodiac. With who, I don't know. Who's coming in? What does a child mean? Does it mean there's a new student? There's a new student that's moving up in the rankings? Is that what it means? Right? How do you get to number 9? Right? 9 is a controller of a situation. 1 and 8, 2 and 7, 3 and 6, 4 and 5. What situation is being under control? We're in the month of May. It is the 5th month. It is also the 8th month. So we're going to represent this by Scorpio. Right? And we're going to represent it, I think, by August. So I don't know about these things. This is where my work would come in handy with others who study the zodiac, who study astrology, etc., who study planets. It's a combination of work. It's the alchemy of us, putting back and melting the ice. What does it mean to melt the ice? The truth. Okay, when you wake somebody up, it's a 2-to-1. The truth is a 2-to-1 thing. When I take somebody away from the negative and put it to the positive, you've taken away the 1 from the negative and added it to the positive. That's 1, 2. So the ice begins to boil. The computer needs to stop you, right? This is like a maze, the maze of life. It's just amazing, right? A through M, and then the entity. What is it? The zing. What is the zing onto life? May 19th are associating Capricorn and Sagittarius. Again, back to a birth. Why? When you say number 19, right, which also leaves 12 plus 1 day over. Okay, now you have, again, back to another connection, another something new coming onto the board. Why I'm saying this is when I calculate how many days left over in the month, 12. Connecting to that day, 13. Connecting or not connecting. What is the connection? This is when I start to add on my 1, 2, 3 to understand that kind of connection. So May 19th, the letters in the alphabet, although they're A, E, and I, when associating with number 19, according to the French, they will say 10, 9. 10 is going to be an association of either this, A, B, C, D equaling to 10, or what is A, I, B, H, C, G, and D, F, what is 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6, all equating to the total of 10, or 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equates to 10. And once you expand that and you throw it out to the other side, that small 10, okay, which is an average of 2.5, becomes the big 10, right? And that is an average of 7.5. Did I say that right? Just 1 second. 9 and 1, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6 equals to 10, equals to 10, equals to 10, equals to 10. So this, hold on a second, to what is A, B, C, D equals to 10, 2.5 times 4, to what is 2 times 5 equals to 10. Okay, yes. You see, 4 times 2.5 is 10. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. two areas, two areas, two areas, two areas. These two areas equal 10. 2 times 5 is 10. So the average here is 2.5. The average here is 5. The total is 7.5. This is where they can transition between the moons. According to my work and what I have found inside this game, in game mode, what game mode means is I go outside the game and I search out what the basics of creation. You saw every word in the dictionary is in my game. You go to the supermarket, you hear the cashier, you see the cash, they're punching the cash in my game, right? If it's just something that you've only seen, that can go under miscellaneous in my game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the game. Which level do you want to be on in the game? Piano in the game. Orchestra in the game. The flute in the game. The banjo in the game. Music notes in the game. 1 through 9 piano, 88 keys, big time in the game. The guitar, if you take a look at the guitar, it stretches out. It creates this distance. It reminds me of a diamond for some reason, the guitar. I don't know why. There's something, I designed something once. I was designing a diamond and I saw a guitar. I stretched out the diamond and it turned into a guitar. And and the G and the Q come together. The G is the 7th letter. The Q is the 17th letter. And because it's the 17th letter, not only is the 19th letter, S, associated with Capricorn, also the R, the 18th letter, is also associated. The 17, 18, 19 are all going to be an association to the French of saying 10. So this is where G, H, and I are all going to be like handpicked out to have a realm inside this world of 10, 7, 8, and 9. So why did 7, 8, 9? Because they came through the gateways of the heavens and they were born again. So let me see. You know what? Somebody said wanted to come up. I said accepted one. I accepted 2 people, and then it disappeared. And so I don't know if somebody wants to try again. Try it again. I'll keep my eye on it. What blue monkey? Like above is below. What about the red monkey? What about bringing my 3 X's to the game? When this turns to the right, it turns this one, it pushes down this one here, and this one turns this way, the opposite way. When this one turns this way, the other one turns this way, and then when this one turns that way, this one turns the other way. This one going one way turns these 2 the opposite ways. So let me see if I can do this to myself. I turn this up. Let me do this. The center one goes this way. That means this one, that's connected to this one. Just hold on a second. When it's going that way, this one is going this way, and then this one, hold on a second, let me see here. Then this one here, whoop, no, that wasn't it. I just made a mistake. Hold on a second. Okay, so this one goes this way, forcing this one to go this way. And as it goes this way, it forces this one to go this way. So as this one's going that way, it's forcing this one to go that way. And then it's forcing this one to go that way, which is the same way as that way, but not the same way as this way. So can we put 2 more over here? Which way would they be going? Can one gear run 4 houses? I'm just thinking. right now. I'm off the subject, but uh,
My interwebs finally started acting right.
internet, how are you, sir?
How are you, my good teacher?
Learning every day. What do you think
I agree.
about this?
Um,
Does it
yeah,
look 3D?
very well. I would consider that more 2D.
This has got three sides.
Yes, technically.
Because of the drop in the center,
Yes.
okay, which is helping me understand. I wish I understood how people can give more dimensions, but the drop in the center showed me more of an angle, telling
Um,
me more of an angle, telling me I can close this and close the back with the same angle.
Use dotted lines. That's how I do my 4 dimensionals or my 5 dimensionals. I use dotted line.
Well, these are well where all the crossings of the squares are. Those are all my dots.
Okay, so like instead like we would use like on perforated paper, like they would be in between, like a space in between each little mark line.
Right.
That way it shows that you're not seeing through it, but it's still back there on the back side. So I usually come up on my bottom square, I come up with little dots that show coming up to the final corner, and then I show the back corner coming up as well.
But
I
I
have
have to
some
show, I have to choose, if I'm depending on the angle I'm choosing, I will count the number of dots or areas before I strike the pen.
fair enough. Yeah, you
Is that correct by what you're saying?
I don't I typically use just by ruler. I go by ruler, but yes, the same method.
Okay, well, when you use the ruler, do you use any set? I mean, obviously, in order for it to go to do the thing, I mean, you're not going to jig jag the lines. They're
Right,
going to be
right. It's,
geometrical, the
yes,
end
sir.
result.
Yes, sir.
So, do you have a set number of walls that you'll put up for for
For a,
anything?
for the
What?
main for the main pyramid, I use 8.
For the main one, you use 8. Do you ever use 12?
I don't. Well, I haven't used 12 yet, but I do understand the 12 because of the. There's actually three sides per side, so I understand the 12 comes into play like that, which also brings in to the 21, because the 21 and the 12 go hand in hand together.
In this piece of design, the four cubes that you see in the center on the 4 line, right, are the four. There are 12 around. So
Yes.
that 12 around is how I'm understanding how that four would share, how they would each share. First, the four would share in the corner, and then they would share with each with their own corners,
Correct.
unlike what you see in the corner over here. So what this is actually an invert to this.
Ah, I see. Which that's where we came up with that. That's what I was. I have that one diagram that brings up that 55 as well.
So yeah, well, the word sky pass, right? Ape is 22.
Mhm.
Pass or sky are both 55 equals 77, and everything always repeats the same thing. So when I say something, it's not because I'm guessing. Say, where do you find this? APE. Like, in what shape are you in?
Grape.
What shape, ape, are you in?
Golden.
27 and 22 equals to 49. Your birth shape into the delta angle world, right? I mean, there's a lot of questions. Why monkey? Why this? Why that? You know,
Correct.
when you're creating, you stop, you leave that there, you found something else, you moved on.
Well, no, I didn't stop there. I found well, like
Not you. I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying
no, yeah,
when
no,
the
yeah,
work is
you in
being
general, yeah,
done,
you in general. No,
we don't.
I was
What's
reverting
that?
back. I was reverting back to your thing of the monkey because I had a nice one of my wonderful dreams that I have about the monkey and going back into like when we were talking about the golden monkey and the dream I was having was the goal. If you look at it, okay, great ape, grape is great ape. So then we look at great ape. and then we go to golden monkey, and we look at that and we break it down. Golden, the mineral, the key. The key is always usually golden. When you have a house key, you usually get them as in like a brass or a color of gold, brass, copper, gold, same colors. They're basically the same color. So we look at these keys. So
So
mun,
yellow soul, yellow 92, yellow 9229. So it connect this. So this connection is going to connect to the Mars source moon, your 2911. The reason for this, first of all, gold is when all three moons can come together. That's the first thing. It's the heart of the two other moons. Mars and Earth are together. Whatever you tell me, this is only a game. And
right,
in
right.
this game, Earth and Mars are like this.
Yeah, they're tight.
Are we going to Mars? What do you mean, Mom? We
Where
were
were
here
we?
at birth.
Where were we,
You know
Mars?
the house was divided up, Mom.
Where were
Okay,
we?
you're kidding with me, but the people online, yes, they know and don't have to tell anybody. They all knows that when they have dreams, the phobias are the phobos and the demons are the demas. My mother wants to tell you all to remember your bad and your good dreams because
Yes.
phobos is the name of Mars's moon and could collide with the word phobia. And Demas or demons could collide with Demas or demons, and these are the moons of Mars. Could you tell them apart
Which
by
is
the
where
word?
which is also where the word mon comes from, which is
Ye-
singular, which means
Yes,
singular. So
that's our moon.
right. So mon key, golden mon key, golden singular key.
Right. So the golden singular key is, you see the moon up there? In
Yes.
my game, I made a little tweak and change. Would you like me to tell you what change I made in my game?
I would love to hear it.
So everybody over here, TikTok, if you want to know, I've created a game. It's called Game Mode right now. If I can get enough, if I can get somebody out here who's here listening to this right now, I am really serious of taking this to the next level. Okay, of taking all these algorithms, all these mathematical equations, every single word that has ever existed, every single story, and putting it in and let it talk for itself. The balance of everything will come mostly from games, from the ABCs. So I'm looking for somebody who's looking to invest. And right now there's a game convention going on, and I think my nephew's going to be there. He's got a new game coming out in anime.
There's something that I also like. I mean, somebody brought it to they brought it to me, but it's something I've been saying for a while now. But I knew the significance of the number 44. See, like when we get into the Hebrew numbers, like if we look at the word father, we get Av, 1 and 2, which is Aleph Bet, which is 1 and 2, which is 3. That's 1, 2, 3. So then you get mother, which is Amma, which is Aleph Mem, which is 40 plus 1, which is 40, which is 41. Then you add the 41 with the 3, you get 44. Then you get Yaled, which is child, which is 40 or 4, 30, and 10, which is also 44.
What did you say? What word was that?
Yaled, Yeled is Yaled is
Yeah.
child.
Yes, so that I just to interrupt you if you're going to remember easily. I do that just so I don't forget. I just want to let everybody know, but I'm hoping that nobody does it to me. Uh, you know that word yellen, if you listen to it from a guy who lives in Quebec or a woman that lives in Quebec, and I'm French, all I hear is student. And what you're telling me comes right off of that piece. Yeah, I saw that whole show. That's good. Continue.
Yes, and then it goes back to that. Then it goes back to the theta. It comes all the way back to theta. And I was looking at all that, and I was going back to the crystal spiral because it has more numbers than than our Fibonacci sequence, which also I've kind of been looking at that, both of them as well, and I kind of tend to go back to the crystal spiral more.
So then you can, so would you say, like I should put a board up in the background. So would you say that this house, this construct we're in, possibly was a pre-created, that there's a utopia here that we're living in the construct?
That I would, okay, yes, 100%.
Because this is what the numbers have to talk about. Like when we're mentioning numbers, there's got to be a lineage to something.
the lineage is we are the lineage of the original of Eden. Eden, or if we that's where we look at, that's where we get the 144 from, is from the Hebrew word of for Eden, which sounds like sounds like condemnation, but it's like it's I can't really pronounce it that well, but I'd have to go research it. But then it comes back to the number that's 233, and when you divide 144 and 233, it comes up to the theta golden ratio.
Yeah, yeah. Yes,
So
yes,
we get our
yes, yes.
so we're spiraling outward instead of, like, I believe, my personal opinion, like we say, our belief would be, or my truth would be, that the constant warning of the snake eating its tail is a warning to constantly not run into a loop and ask yourself the same questions, to try to broaden your horizon. Because a lot of times when people are out here, they talk about they talk about how they're chasing the answer, but how can you have an answer if you don't ask the right question?
Right. And that brings on the big equation. How
Yes,
do you
sir.
find that question without
Right.
having, I mean, for me, without
Right.
having the question, where does the question come from? So,
And that's what I believe as well. And but that's one thing I've always learned with myself, is I tend to ask myself the same question in repetitive ways, like we were taught in our doctrinated schools, where they would ask you like the same question in a different manner to test your IQ ratio, to figure out if you would understand it in different ways but get the same answer. So at the same time, I ask myself the same question in different ways to figure out what the proper way to ask the question could be. So that way I can find the proper answer. And that's how I get my answers when I lay down and go to sleep at night.
okay, so now I let up purples. We're going to get purples at can I read that? Purples. So when you say purples, is that more than the purple itself? Because if I say purple, purple, that'll be 8888. If I just say purple, that'll be 107. It's going to be a representation of 20. It's going to be a representation of 5 times 2, 5 plus 2. We're going to connect Capricorn over to Libra. And I was looking for that answer before. I wanted to remember that. So that was when I got the purple 88 plus the 19 for 107 is one I brought
I have a
Capricorn
oh,
over to Libra. Sorry about it. I just want to write this down. And that's
okay.
where 52 comes in.
I have a
Earth's heart.
question. Okay, so I know it's not, this question is not related to your subject, but I just wanted to ask, like, okay, this is about like a partner that I was dating. So and well, I know you're into numbers and stuff, so I was wondering if you can help me. So this guy that I was dating, he 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 was
If you just tell me the
like,
numbers, it'll be easier so you don't have to give me a whole story. I mean, I don't know which way. I mean, because I don't want to be the
mm,
psychologist to decide between left and right. I-
yeah, I don't know the numbers, but I was gonna say, like, he he was living with his mom. Okay, so he was living with his mom, and me, like, I'm into
Hold on,
art
just
and,
1 second. I just want to know something. Are
okay,
you over 18?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay, okay. Go ahead.
yeah. So I'm into like art and poetry, right? So like after like I engaged with him and like everything, we kind of we kind of like didn't like each other after a while, so he moved on, and he went with another female.
Okay, so how
So,
like I don't want to I like for me to listen. If you want to PM me and do this, we're gonna have to do
okay,
this somewhere else because I don't think it's proper to do this here because I don't think
okay,
it's fair to anybody else. So if you want to
okay,
PM me, we can
right,
take. I think that's going to be structured a little bit better, and I think it's going to be fair to everybody, right?
okay,
Because when we're on here, it's I don't know what anybody else thinks. I don't know where you're going with it. It might be something that I definitely don't want to get into.
yeah,
Might be something that might
yeah,
put my thinking on the line, which will change everybody else's perspective over everything that I do beyond the
yeah,
numbers, which is something I won't go to because
okay,
I'm only here for those who want to see the interior of the landscape of this planet. I'm here to share
okay,
the algorithms.
okay.
So
So
what
can
you
I
have to
ask you
know is one
this?
thing I will tell you.
Yeah.
When your heart knows the truth, follow your heart.
Mm-hmm.
When you
Okay.
desire something, stay away from it.
Okay. Can I ask you this? Like, can people in this world can they be like is there like witches and wizard in this world? Like
There are
people who are like
words.
NPCs?
There are words, okay, that
Mm,
describe what
okay.
entities can do through the creation in which we are yet to understand. But understanding through
Okay.
electronics, many things
Mm-hmm.
can glitch
Hmm.
because we are only the
Okay.
receptor of the capacity to light the torch.
Okay.
Many
Okay.
people at this time, according to game mode, are not on, they're off. No matter what you say to them, they might say anything, but not knowingly themselves, they will become hypocrites and narcissists, not even knowing themselves.
Mm,
They will not even
okay.
see it. It's just
Okay.
that's the way it is. It's just I wish it wasn't because I see it all the time and I say
Yeah.
nothing, but that's under my judgment, right? My logic, my rationality. So you would have to judge how you perceive me in order to see
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to use any part of my words as your own way of balancing your judgment.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Okay, you're right. Yeah.
Not me.
Cause
The
I
system is built that way. I speak off the system. It's like when you talk, you have to talk backwards in order to figure it out.
yeah. Yeah. I always wondered that I always wondered like how these people are always like having all these like lavish life and like stuff like that. Kind of like they never had nothing, but now they like rich and have like all these stuff and I'm kind of wondering to myself, I'm like, I was like, how did do you get all these things if
Have you ever
you
had 100,000 employees and made $1 an hour off their backs?
hmm,
Right, that's a lot of money. You know when if the employees want a $1 raise and there's a hundred
hmm,
thousand of them, that's a lot of money. So a lot of
yeah,
people are making a lot of money off of other people's backs. Are they being fair? Are they sharing? I don't know.
hmm,
I do know. I do know. I
hmm,
do know. Even if they're being fair, it doesn't matter. I just played the song about the tax man.
yeah. Do you think that they are using like the real soul's like energy to like help them gain in this world, or are they like
Do you do any research when you work? When you need to find something out, do you do any research? If
yeah,
not, they will send you wherever they send you. If
mm,
you do the
okay,
research, right, they can't send you because you've done the work yourself. They can't have anything from you. The more of us that begin to do the research, the more of us
mm,
begin to wake up, the more the walls fall, the more the ice melts. If the ice is melting, it's a good sign, not a bad sign. We're
okay,
overloading the computer for everyone that is moved over, for every good soul. Okay, add two. For every good soul, add two.
Okay. Hmm. Okay.
Just trying to see, what does this look like?
A pyramid.
I don't know. It could look like distance. I'm going all the way down the hall, all the way down, 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 all the way
Mm-hmm.
down. And just like I said, just from that little tool I had this morning in my hand, this tool over here, which made me think of the mask.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what you got to do? You got to smile. Know that your choices are going to be your choices. If somebody forces you into something, it's not a natural thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you're over a certain age now. I don't know if you've fallen into whatever it is that things are costing you, but if you got $1 in your pocket and you need it to eat, well, the casino says keep your dollar. If you found it, give it to no one. Eat. You owe no one
Yeah.
nothing. Eat. Your survival, in order for anybody to get anything that they want from you, your survival means putting food in your own stomach. The better you feel, the more they get.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna call him right back. I I have to answer a call. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, I had to keep more
You're
space on the screen. So I'm not sure if she left or I took her off, but I was putting her on mute. But anyways, forbidden more of the empath myself, but I noticed the higher up ladder, the less emotion. I'm just trying to go through. Profit is good. Somebody mentioned that today.
emotion is just energy and motion. That's all. That's all emotion is. That's something a lot of people have to understand. Each word has a very distinct breakdown in meaning, and we have to look at those meanings in order to understand what we're doing. And the answer to the he said, "What is what?" The answer. This gentleman asked a question. He said, "What comes after two but before four?" And I said one. And Mr. Tackpan may have a different answer for that.
Now you can do that.
But the reason I say that is the one and the two, or the two and the one. We go 1, 2, 3. Then you go 2, 1, 4, or 2, 1, 3. So either way, it comes to 3. That's how I would also view that, as I've learned a lot from Mr. Tackpan as well, and put some things into my own algorithms that I do. And we tend to come back with quite often the similar answer, or if not the same as well. But he could probably, it would be 3 exactly, but without, to get the 3 you would have to have the 2 and the 1 to have the 3 there, or 4 minus 1. Yes, the 1.
Well, that's because that's what you said. So I'm just showing what, because I'm like very high strung, that, and I listen very carefully on purpose to make sure that everybody, like every single word we speak, if I can't back it up or somebody does not, and just say because of this is not an answer. So when you said that, I found what you said, and you were right. It could have been 3, it could have been 1, it could have been 6, but now it's because it became a joint venture. I don't know if you're looking at in between, because what comes between them is the joint venture of the seventh gate.